Welcome to today's teaching, where we'll explore Genesis chapters 10 to 13. These chapters provide valuable insights into the early days of human civilization and the life of one of the most influential figures in the Bible, Abraham, formerly known as Abram. As we look into these ancient stories, we'll uncover timeless lessons that are relevant to our daily lives today. Genesis 10 to 13 tells stories about human migration, the rise of nations, the calling of Abram, and his journey of faith. While the context might seem distant, the themes of purpose, faith, decisions, and relationships with others are incredibly applicable to us now. Genesis 10, often called the Table of Nations, provides a genealogical account of Noah's descendants after the flood. It's easy to look at genealogies and gloss over them, but they offer an important message about the spread of humanity and the origins of various nations. This chapter shows the development of different people groups and the foundation of cultures that exist even today. One key takeaway from Genesis 10 is the idea that we are all part of one human family. Despite our different nationalities, ethnicities, and cultures, we all trace our origins back to a common ancestor. This is a powerful reminder to practice unity, respect, and love for all people, regardless of our differences. In today's world, where division and conflict are common, understanding that we are all interconnected can inspire a greater sense of empathy, compassion, and cooperation. In this modern society, where issues like racism, nationalism, and discrimination exist, Genesis 10 reminds us that these divisions are artificial. Our shared humanity should unite us, encouraging us to work together for the common good. In Genesis 11, we read about the Tower of Babel, where humanity, united in language and purpose, attempts to build a tower that reaches the heavens. Their goal is to make a name for themselves and avoid being scattered across the earth. However, God confuses their language, causing them to abandon their project and disperse across the globe. The story of the Tower of Babel teaches us about the dangers of pride and self-reliance. The people in this story were united, but their unity was rooted in pride, ambition, and a desire to challenge God. They wanted to build a monument to their own greatness rather than follow God's purpose for them. In today's world, the lesson is clear: pride can lead to destruction. When we prioritize our own ambitions, power, or fame over God's purpose for us, we risk being scattered, whether emotionally, spiritually, or relationally. We need to check our motivations and ask ourselves whether we are building towers for our own glory or living out God's plan for our lives. Additionally, the scattering of people and the diversification of languages at Babel reminds us of the beauty of diversity. In modern society, our differences, whether cultural, linguistic, or otherwise, should not divide us but enrich our collective experience. Embracing diversity and learning from others can lead to greater creativity, collaboration, and understanding. Genesis 12 introduces Abram, the man chosen by God to become the father of many nations. God calls Abram to leave his home, his family, and everything familiar to journey to a land that God will show him. God promises to make Abram a great nation, to bless him, and make his name great so that he will be a blessing to others. The story of Abram's calling teaches us about the power of faith and obedience. Abram's journey required him to leave behind comfort, security, and familiarity. He didn't know where he was going, but he trusted God's promise and followed his call. In today's world, we often face uncertainty and challenges that require us to step out in faith. Like Abram, we are called to trust God's plan even when we can't see the full picture. Whether it's making a career change, moving to a new city, or starting a new project, we need to listen for God's direction and have the courage to follow it, knowing that He has good plans for our lives. God's promise to Abram wasn't just for his benefit, it was so that he could be a blessing to others. This is a key lesson for us today. Our success, wealth, or influence is not just for us to enjoy, it's meant to benefit those around us. We are blessed so that we can be a blessing. Whether through giving, encouraging, or serving others, we can use the resources and opportunities God gives us to make a positive impact in the world. In Genesis 13, Abram and his nephew Lot experience conflict between their herdsmen because their possessions and livestock have grown too great to share the same land. To resolve the dispute, Abram offers Lot the first choice of land. Lot chooses the fertile plain of Jordan, while Abram settles in the land of Canaan. After Lot departs, God reaffirms his promise to Abram, reassuring him that the land of Canaan will belong to his descendants forever. In this story, Abram shows humility and generosity by allowing Lot to choose the best land. Even though Abram was the elder and could have insisted on taking the better portion, he prioritized peace over personal gain. In our lives today, conflicts over resources, opportunities, or recognition can arise. Abram's example teaches us the importance of humility and generosity in resolving conflicts. Instead of fighting for the best for ourselves, we should seek peace and trust that God will provide for us in His own way. This story also teaches us about making wise decisions. Lot chose the land that appeared to be more prosperous, but it was near the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah, which were known for their wickedness. His choice led to difficulties later on. This reminds us to think carefully about our decisions, not just based on what looks good on the surface, but based on long-term consequences and alignment with God's will. The stories in Genesis 10 to May 13 be ancient, but their lessons are timeless. From understanding our shared humanity to recognizing the dangers of pride, trusting God's plan, and resolving conflicts with humility, these chapters offer guidance for living a life of purpose and faith today. We are reminded that our journey, like Abram's, is one of faith. We may not know where God is leading us, but as we trust Him, we will see His promises fulfilled in our lives. The blessings we receive are not just for us, they are opportunities to bless others and make a positive difference in the world. Thank you for watching, and may God bless you as you walk in faith and wisdom.